Did you spot the giant floating baby head? What about Nosy, the lake nose monster? Because they both made cameos in Phineas and Ferb's newest movie. Candace Against the Universe is like a montage of Phineas and Ferb's greatest hits.
Enjoy the ride.
From the very first roller coaster they ever built to
Other nonsense coming soon.
the movie is packed with cameos by some of our favorite recurring characters, like Paul the Delivery Guy, and references to iconic episodes, like the time when they carved Candace's head into Mount Rushmore. But don't worry if you weren't able to catch them all, because we have the 15 best ones right here. In the opening number, ironically called Such a Beautiful Day, Candace rattles off some of the craziest things her brothers have ever done. The references go all the way back to the very first episode of the series, when Phineas and Ferb made a roller coaster in their backyard.
Do you like it?
And that time they made a robot version of themselves. But Candace also mentions events from episodes when she wasn't around to catch her brothers in the act, like the paper pelican that she didn't see because she was at Jeremy's pool party.
Ahem.
She also wasn't around to see the pyramid-related sports because the boys went to the park for that one. Did she hear about their adventures from the boys themselves? Or did her frustration at her brothers help her break the fourth wall as she took a not-so-happy ride down memory lane? One of Phineas and Ferb's most popular tunes is Busted, which debuted on the I Scream, You Scream as a duet between Candace and Vanessa Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, she's finally gonna see the light.
While the girls aren't actually together, their separate performances are combined as Candace complains about her brothers and Vanessa complains about her father. There's a quick callback to this duet in the movie when the duo almost sings together before Vanessa makes Candace come to her senses. Once the music stops, she asks what we're all thinking.
Wait, why do I have a guitar?
One of the best moments from the movie is when the Chicken-replace-inator steals a chicken from a farm on Earth and sends a dragon in its place.
It switched places with the nearest chicken, wherever that is.
But the farmer and his wife who received the dragon, luckily just in time for their dragon theme park to open, have appeared in quite a few Phineas and Ferb episodes. They've been the victims of termites, falling bunnies, and vans,
Not one word.
and multiplying monkeys. Thankfully, they usually get exactly what they need before moving on to the farmer's next crazy business idea.
Looks like somebody owes me an apology.
Candace Against the Universe gave us an intergalactic prize in the form of the full version of the iconic space adventure song. Before the movie, we'd only heard snippets of the jingle to the Star Trek-inspired movie and television show, which is pretty straightforward.
Space adventure. It's an adventure in space.
Now, thanks to Baljeet and his obsession, we know the song really does have a full version, and it's even on the film's official soundtrack. We all know Doofenshmirtz is his own worst enemy at times, so of course the movie had to make room for a quick cameo from one of his favorite things, a self-destruct button. He doesn't actually use it this time, but as he's trying to figure out a way out of a sticky situation, he pulls out an axe-inator that has a self-destruct button right on the back. Why would an axe need a self-destruct button? Only Doofenshmirtz himself can explain that logic. Speaking of inators, you might remember that the Chicken-replace-inator is not a new invention.
Thanks to my brand new Chicken-replace-inator!
When it first appeared in the What a Croc episode, when Dr. Doofenshmirtz tries to embarrass his brother Roger by replacing his mayoral award with a chicken, but now it's a handheld device. And it turns out Doofenshmirtz was entirely right about it being better to replace something with a chicken than to not replace it with a chicken. His chicken transferring device ends up saving the day. It was a good call adding a furthest chicken option. When aliens enter the stadium, we get a lot of cameos from characters who have been featured on the TV series. If you look carefully at the audience, you can spot Mishti, Baljeet's long-lost friend and crush, Clive Addison, the famed special effects guru behind the space adventure movies, and Paul the Delivery Guy, who often brings Phineas and Ferb material for their crazy projects. There's also a woman with a lot of concern for her watermelon. This is a running gag on the show, with people often yelling,
My watermelon!
off-screen during times of chaos. Here, we get to see a watermelon-loving woman freak out over her favorite fruit as aliens descend upon the stadium. Another great cameo happens during Candace's opening song, when a trio of shaggy-haired musicians shows up to provide some stylish backup vocals. These musicians have shown up in a few Phineas and Ferb episodes to help out musically. The most notable is in the episode It's About Time, where they help Doofenshmirtz out as he sings My Nemesis, a tribute to the one and only Perry the Platypus.
Ooh, my name.
There are a lot of quick visual references to some of the show's best-running gags in the form of billboards at the stadium. There's a banner advertising Ducky Momo, the Japanese children's show that Candace loves.
Ducky Momo.
The logo for Love Handel, the popular band that has shown up a few times and even performed Paul the Delivery Guy's theme music, and a billboard for Scenic Lake Nose, where the boys once had to rescue a friendly monster named Nosy from another one of Doofenshmirtz's evil plots. There's also the giant floating baby head, which inexplicably turns up in a lot of episodes. When Phineas and Ferb realize Candace is upset with them, they try to think of what they could do to make her feel better that'll be more permanent than the time they carved her head into Mount Rushmore. This happened in the episode Candace Loses Her Head, and while Candace liked the memorial, it didn't take long for it to crumble to pieces. Right before her mom sees what her brothers have been up to, of course. The mug they go with as her new gift, complete with flashbacks of the siblings' time together, seems to be a much better choice for their older sister. When Phineas and Ferb run to Baljeet for help getting to Candace, he suggests a portal to get them to space. This is a reference to when he made a portal to try and go to Mars in the episode Unfair Science Fair. Neither of these portals worked as they were intended to, so it looks like Baljeet still has some work to do if he wants to achieve easy space travel. Huge Phineas and Ferb fans probably know that Milo's Murphy's Law was created by the same people who gave us Phineas and Ferb, and the two stories take place in the same universe. Of course, they weren't going to waste a chance to make a crossover reference in Candace Against the Universe. When Candace asks the spaceship to stop, the system mishears it as
playing Chop, Chop, Chop by the Lumberjacks.
and plays Chop Away at My Heart by the Lumberjacks, which was originally performed in the Milo Murphy's Law episode Secrets and Pies. Phineas and Ferb is full of weird, silly, downright hilarious names for things. The best silly names used in Candace Against the Universe are probably the planet Fliblaut in the Fliblaut cluster. But Fliblaut isn't nearly as random of a name as it sounds. If you flip it around, it sounds like 2 all-beef, which is how the recipe to a Big Mac starts, with 2 all-beef patties. The planet itself also kind of looks like a burger patty, so we can see exactly where they got their inspiration from.
In our language, Candace is the noise someone makes when they explode from the waist up.
The voice behind the sound someone makes when they explode from the waist up actually belongs to a Phineas and Ferb superfan. And yes, saying Candace over and over again was her only role in the movie. It's Tiffany Haddix, who said she asked for a Perry the Platypus t-shirt in exchange for using her voice in the movie. Sadly, they don't make them anymore, but the showrunners did hand paint some Perry designs on some nice t-shirts for her, so at least they're unique. If you're wondering where exactly this Phineas and Ferb movie falls into the series timeline, Candace's opening song is a good place to look. It sounds like the movie is set in the same summer as the majority of the episodes she sings about, and likely takes place right after Troy Story. It definitely takes place before Last Day of Summer and Night of the Living Pharmacists. But why does traveling to space and Candace's newfound bond with her brothers never come up later in the show? It looks like it's because they found out about Perry's secret identity. At the very end of the movie, they all look towards the platypus as his communicator goes off, outing him to his host family and their friends. A little brain zapping later, and Perry probably had their memories wiped of the whole ordeal. What other Easter eggs and references did you spot? Let us know your favorite ones in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to The Things for more great stuff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time!